Hello and welcome to Voices of Maximilian Globus, the podcast where we explore the people, ideas, and innovations shaping the future of global excellence. I'm your host, Dennis, and I'm proud to be part of the Maximilian Globus family, a company that thrives on connection, ambition, and impact. Each episode will dive into inspiring conversations with team members, leaders, partners, and visionaries from across our global network. Whether you're tuning in from one of our offices or simply curious about what drives us forward, this is your behind-the-scenes look at the culture, values, and creativity that fuel Maximilian Globus. So sit back, plug in, and let's explore what makes Maximilian Globus more than just a company, but a movement powered by people. Today, we're diving deep into something that can transform every relationship in your life. Empathy. Not just feeling sorry for someone, but truly understanding their world from the inside out. You know that moment when someone really gets you? When they don't just hear your words, but understand the feelings behind them? That's empathy in action. And today I'm going to share 5 practical techniques that will help you create those moments for others. Let's start with technique number 1, the perspective flip. Most of us listen to respond, not to understand. Here's what I want you to try. Next time someone shares a problem with you before you offer advice or share your own experience, ask yourself one simple question. If I were living their exact life with their background, their pressures, their fears, how would I be feeling right now? Last week, my friend Sarah told me she was stressed about changing careers at 35. My first instinct was to say, "You're so smart, you'll figure it out." But instead, I did the perspective flip. I thought about having a mortgage, kids, and the weight of starting over. Suddenly, I understood why she wasn't just nervous. She was terrified. That shift changed everything about how I responded. Technique number 2, the emotional mirror. This is about reflecting back not just what someone said, but what they're feeling. Instead of saying, "I understand," try, "It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed by all these choices." Or, "I can hear the frustration in your voice about not being heard at work." The magic happens when people feel truly seen. They often respond with, "Yes, exactly," and then share even more deeply. You've just created a safe space for authentic connection. Number 3, the curiosity bridge. Replace judgment with curiosity. When someone does something that seems irrational or hurtful, instead of thinking, "That makes no sense," try, "I wonder what's driving this behavior." I once had a colleague who was consistently harsh in meetings. Instead of writing him off as difficult, I got curious. Over coffee, I discovered he was dealing with a sick parent and felt like he was failing everywhere. His sharpness wasn't about us. It was his way of trying to maintain control in chaos. Understanding this didn't excuse his behavior, but it helped me respond with compassion instead of defensiveness. Technique 4, the story behind the story. Everyone's current reaction has a history. That person who seems overly sensitive about criticism, maybe they grew up with harsh judgment. The friend who struggles to ask for help. Perhaps they learned early that they could only rely on themselves. You don't need to be a therapist, but remembering that everyone's behavior makes sense within their own story will deepen your empathy instantly. Ask gentle questions. Has this situation reminded you of anything from before? Or, what would help you feel supported right now? And finally, technique 5, the empathy check-in. This is my favorite because it's so simple yet powerful. During conversations, especially difficult ones, pause and ask, "Am I understanding you correctly? It seems like you're feeling," and then reflect back what you're hearing. This does 2 things. It shows the other person you're actively trying to understand them, and it gives them a chance to correct you if you're off track. Sometimes they'll say, "Not exactly." It's more like, and that's golden. You just got deeper insight into their inner world. Here's what I've learned. Empathy isn't about agreeing with everyone or fixing their problems. It's about creating a bridge between your world and theirs. When we truly understand someone else's perspective, something beautiful happens. They feel less alone, and we feel more connected to our shared humanity. But here's the thing about empathy. It gets stronger with practice. Like a muscle, the more you use it, the more natural it becomes. So here's my challenge for you. Pick one of these 5 techniques and try it today. Really try it. Have that conversation with your partner, your kid, your coworker, or even that neighbor you've been meaning to understand better. Maybe it's doing the perspective flip with a family member who's been driving you crazy, or using the emotional mirror with a friend who's going through a tough time. Whatever technique calls to you, give it a genuine try. Remember, in a world that often feels divided, empathy is how we find our way back to each other. One conversation, one moment of understanding, one attempt to see through someone else's eyes at a time. Thanks for hanging out with me today on Up and Personal. If you love this episode, share it with a friend, and I'll catch you next time for more ways to live your best life.